Just the life changes. Is this her prepping for a divorce? And Mary J. Blige fan found out how Mary and her team feel about signing autographs in a not so nice way.
Ooh, and the group B5 is dropping by to talk career, new music, and much more.
And baby, I'm just tickled to be here to talk all about it.
Welcome to Side Dish. Nice.
We are your sous chefs, baby. Man, here at Side Dish, we are more than just an appetizer when it comes to pop culture and fun. We, our friends, are the whole meal.
And joining us again tonight, she's the Carolinas comedian, giving you that Southern take on all things pop culture. You've seen her all over your For You page. Everyone, welcome back, funny lady Gigi LeFlair. Welcome, welcome.
We got a shooter, active shooter in the building. Appreciate you pulling back up on us.
No, thank you for having me.
And giving us that cheetah print, or is it leopard? I'm not sure.
Leopard, is it cheetah?
I believe that's, yeah, leopard. Okay. Cheetah's dots, right?
I like to refer, this is like animal camo.
Animal camo.
This be like animal camo.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
So, like, this reposes the question. 100 people in cheetah print versus one gorilla. Does that change the dynamic? Never mind. All right, so it's time for some Feed Me. Now, Gigi, as a Southern woman, you've probably seen your fair share of men on horseback, and you've probably seen some horses throw some men off of them. Well, this horse let this man know that this ride was not going down. Check it out.
Oh, no, come on.
Oh, that horse knee's about to go.
It's already off to a bad start.
Ooh.
They about to break the horse back.
Sit up on the horse. Sit up.
That's dangerous for both that man and the horse. That's higher off the ground he's been in a long time.
He's about to put those boots on the ground for sure.
Oh, he grinding that horse down to a pony.
Yo, Black. Black. Ready? Yo, Black.
Okay, woo, at least the horse got back up. Dang, all right.
The horse is gonna...
Yo, what were they thinking?
He made the horse start barking. He's like, I'm not a horse, I'm a dog. I'm a dog, get off me. Come on.
Peter's gonna have a field day with that one.
Yeah, that's bad. That's real bad.
Do you know what the weight amount that a horse can carry is?
The weight limit of a horse?
Yeah.
I got no idea. Whatever that was is over it by... Okay, so evidently that rider was like 500 pounds. I'm going to say the weight limit for a horse is like 400 pounds.
Wowzers. And I've seen situations where I see two people on the back of a horse, but maybe both of those people didn't equal 500 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
And if that man was 500 pounds, he wears it well.
Yeah.
He does.
He doesn't look a pound over 350.
I'm just like, what? I mean, I hate to be this person. I really genuinely hate to be this person. But what in his life's experience was like, yeah, let me throw a leg over this horse?
It's the first time for everything, I guess.
Would a camel have been more suitable for for the trip? Oh, like, you could just see the horse struggling.
Yeah.
Like, and the horse do leg day every day. And he was not ready for my
He's
man.
got 4 legs.
He was not ready at all.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Like, you could just see the horse getting littler and littler. It's like Mario when he gets hit.
A safe word is needed.
Safe for, oh my God. He's just trying to crawl out from under that man, is all that horse is trying to do.
Who that man on that nad? Nobody now.
All right, moving on. Michelle Obama stopped by the Jay Shetty podcast, and she shared how she's in therapy for the next phase of her life. And no, she's not referring to getting divorced from her husband, the Barack Obama, because she cleared up those rumors a few days ago. Check this out.
And at this phase of my life, I'm in therapy right now because I'm transitioning. You know, I'm 60 years old. I've finished a really hard thing in my life with my family intact. I'm an empty nester. My girls are in, you know, they've been launched. And now for the first time, as I've said before, every choice that I'm making is completely mine. I now don't have the excuse of, well, my kids need this or my husband needs that or the country needs that. So how do I think about this next phase? And let me get some help. Let me unwind some old habits. Let me sort through some old guilt that I've been carrying around. Let me talk about how my relationship with my mother has affected how I think about things. So I'm getting that tune up for this next phase, because I believe this is a whole nother phase in life for me. And I now have the wisdom to know, let me go get some coaching while I'm doing it, so that I've got other voices other than the people who know me best. I've got a new person that's getting to know me and seeing me completely new and hearing all these emotions. I am an advocate of it. Everybody needs to find their form of it the best way they can. For some people, it's podcasts like ours, that are providing people with that therapy. And it's one of the reasons why I'm excited about doing these things.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That was a roundabout way of saying, I'm tired of y'all calling my name. I'm going to get me a 1-bedroom right now.
You think she's done with it? She's trying to move out and get her own place?
No, just at a point where when you're a parent and you're at that point of, I've done everything for everybody else and now it's time for me. That's where she's at. She's at that, don't call my name anymore. I'm getting ready to get me a 1-bedroom. I'm tired of y'all.
Yeah, she was forced into a supporting role.
Correct.
For a good little pocket of time. And it's not just the duration of time that, Barack was in office.
Oh, sure.
Leading up to that.
Correct.
The years after that. They expect you to show up to everything, and if you don't go to everything your husband goes to, there's problems at home.
Well, you hear about it all the time when couples, when they become empty nesters, it's almost like they have to re-meet each other again because it's been 20 years or whatever since you were two young single people dating each other.
Life has been about everyone else.
Life has been about these kids, and now the kids are gone. You have to figure out who you are again. So
Trying to get re-freaky.
Yeah.
Correct.
She's
You
trying
got to figure out your freaky level now.
Yeah, get back into that old Michelle phase. As opposed to First Lady.
We are past the drop down and get your eagle on phase.
Right.
And now we are at the area of whose cruise ship is it now? The Love Boat.
Is it?
If you could create a wish list for Michelle Obama, what 3 things would you like to see her do in this phase of life?
I would like to see, number one, Michelle Obama. Michelle, it's okay. You can be Michelle. It's okay to show us that you are Michelle Robinson. And that's what you're doing right now by taking that moment for yourself, just to gather who you are. You don't owe anyone anything. You've already fulfilled your duty to us as a society. Girl, go out there and live your life. Go out there and live your life and take Barry with you.
Yeah, because, Barack ain't had a chance to be Barry in a while.
Right.
I want to see that guy with the from the black and white photo with the joint in his hand. You ain't president no more. And it's legal in D.C.
It's funny, because he doesn't smoke anymore. I mean, or at least he says he doesn't. He was still smoking some in the White House, but, wow.
I want to see him in some sandals, some cookout sandals. I want to see him in a white
See Barack
T-shirt.
at the grill?
Right. I want to see Barack in some cookout sandals. I want to see Michelle come out with her hair tied up with the potato salad bowl, telling them kids to don't let them park on that grass.
Right.
I want to see some of that.
I'm here for all of that.
Yeah.
What's Mary
Go ahead.
up to?
What's Mary up to, Gigi?
Mary was approached by a fan who recently asked for an autograph, and he must not have heard about how Mary allegedly is not so nice to fans when they're approached. She learned real quick how that encounter was gonna go. Check out this video.
Mary, back up, bro. Would you do it for the fans? That's the name of your tour? We love you, Mary.
No, she's not signing.
We love Mary.
Whoa. Well, I don't think Mary's being rude here.
Sometimes I think that it comes to a point to where ain't Mary tired? Ain't Mary is tired. Mary's tired. Mary's been famous for 87 years.
Right.
Mary is tired. Have you seen the videos of Mary at the shows
Doing
performing?
the dance.
Mary is performing like, oh, are y'all here? Oh my God, y'all came. Mary is at the point to where she is ready for y'all to come pick up the kids so she can lay down. That's where she's at with it now.
The other thing, the flip side of it too, is just because somebody is famous doesn't mean that you know them or they owe you anything out in the streets.
Correct.
They've given you the music, they've given you the videos, they've given you the interviews, they've given all that stuff. And to run up on somebody as they're headed through the car is scary and annoying. And then to think that it happens everywhere they go all the time.
It's almost it's almost that they feel entitled to each and every portion of her life. And at one point they do understand that with this life, I do have to give up some level of privacy, but at what cost?
Right.
You know, at what cost?
I hope that fan understands that that wasn't Mary J. Blige to turn him down. That was Monet Tejada.
Correct.
If anybody watches Power. Book 2, go.
Lorenzo has her stressed.
Yeah,
that's
you
why
know, there's
she's
a lot
acting
going on
this
in
way.
that house.
Correct.
What was the daughter's name that was always like, you know?
Diana.
Oh,
Diana.
Oh, my God.
Diana. Is this true, Diana? That was Lorenzo.
Yo, I thought I was the only one who watched that shit. I well, Montell Jordan shared on the Sounds Crazy podcast the first time he met Madonna and the unbelievable words she said to him.
So I cut back, headed to my seat on the corner. Madonna is sitting on the side, just like right on the corner seat. And I pass by and I see her. My guy says, "Hey, Madonna, this is Montell Jordan." So I reach out my hand to shake her hand because I've listened to her on the Mighty 690. Like, I know her music, you know. She looks at me and she goes, "Don't I own you?"
Wait, what?
Oh, no.
That's what I said. I said, "Huh?" She said, "Don't I own you?" And I was like, I'm not processing. Now, let me take you away from that moment. When This Is How We Do It runs up the charts, before it gets to #1, there's a song there called Take a Bow.
Yeah.
That song isn't as fun.
From Madonna. So This Is How We Do It is the song that took Madonna's record off the #1 charts. They tried to do a publishing deal with me for my portion of writers of This Is How We Do It, and we wouldn't do a deal with them. She had a company called Maverick Records.
Yeah.
But my writing partner, he did a publishing deal with Maverick, with Madonna. So even though my song took her song out of the #1 spot, she was still basically saying, "Don't I own you?" Because I still have that spot that you had, that #1 spot.
But Don't I Own You is a crazy
Yeah, I don't like
That's
that.
crazy.
I don't like that.
What in the Django?
Material girl thought he was some of the material.
Facts. How would you have responded to that? Like, let's just say you doing a comedy show and the comedian's like, "Hey, don't I own you?"
People don't play with me like that. People don't play with me like that. That's Madonna. Madonna know who to say stuff like that to.
Yeah, but the crazy thing is, like, you know, like Montell Jordan is not a little dude. I'm not saying he's like
Not at all.
hulking. He's like
Not at all.
He's like basketball tall. You know what I'm
is.
saying? Like, you
He
gotta
is.
have some major cojones.
It's just a strange thing to say to someone the first time you meet them,
Pearls were clutched.
right? You know, like,
Pearls were clutched.
It's one thing to be like, "Oh, thanks for taking that #1 spot," because I'm still, you know, like, there are different ways to, like, put out that, like, yeah, I got a little publishing deal off of that. There's different ways to pepper that in there.
Especially to say that to a black man.
Right.
You know what I'm
It
saying?
had a double entendre meaning, okay?
Right. You know what I mean? Don't I own you?
Not the
And you know,
best.
and you know, she be like importing kids from other countries too. Like, do
Correct.
they feel like, "Hey man,
She does have the United Nations over there at her house. So
like I still got your receipts, children."
It's one of
Right.
those things, like, you know how some parents would be like, "I brought you into this world, I can take you out." Do you think Madonna's
She means
ever
it
like, "I
literally.
shipped you over here, I will ship you back"?
Correct.
I will return you.
I will return you.
I have the UPS label.
Yeah, good God.
I throw it on their back.
That's it.
Put them outside the
That
door.
is it.
Now, Gigi, let's dive into your career a little bit. So, your social media presence has seemed to blow up your comedy overnight. So, when did you first get into comedy, and what was that pivotal moment when you realized, "Hey, listen, man, I'm onto something. It's my purpose"?
So I've always been a social butterfly. I've always had the ability to, you know, be friendly with people and get a chuckle. But I definitely started taking comedy serious. What made me become a comedian as a child was I didn't want to get beat up. So I
Okay.
said, you know what? Let me tell these jokes.
Yeah.
And that'll keep me from maybe being stuffed in a locker. You know, something like that.
So, it's a defense mechanism.
Of course, I was the kid that, like most kids, you have the story of, you know, you had a bully. I had braces on my legs, like the Forrest Gump braces on my legs. My mom had me dressed like Carlton. It wasn't cool yet. So I said, let me tell some of these jokes because I cannot outrun anybody. So let's be funny. And it worked.
Oh, good.
It worked.
Good.
It worked.
Okay, so talking about being a true Southern belle, you're straight from Woodrow, South Carolina. Is there anyone from your family or hometown that inspired your comedic style?
Absolutely. My father. My father is a clown in every aspect. He is the person who, he naturally is charismatic. He's so funny without even trying. And just to see how he maneuvers through crowds with just that comedic personality, it was something that I always aspired to make sure that I honed myself because that was a gift that he gave to me. Be funny.
That's one of those things when you have a funny parent and then when you start to be able to make them laugh, that's
Correct.
a special moment. You know?
Making your dad laugh, and when you get your father to do the belly over laugh, it makes it worthwhile. It makes it worthwhile.
Job well done. Are you the most famous person in Woodrow, South Carolina?
I am not. I am not. The most famous person from Woodruff, South Carolina would have to be Tory Dandy. Tory Dandy is a well-known and well-respected agent, and he has so many #1 draft picks under his belt, and it's just to be spoken about in the conversation with his name being from that same town is something to be proud of.
I think he inspired the dandyism theme that
Tory
they did
Dandy.
in Cali.
Tory Dandy.
Yeah. I don't know. You might be as famous as Tory Dandy.
From your lips to God's ears.
Yeah. I mean, you know.
We've heard of you.
Yeah.
Good deal.
We're not out here talking about Tory Dandy today. We weren't like, yo, Tory, come out the side dish.
I'm just grateful to be in the number.
Hey, yo, man, listen, man, keep killing it. Listen, Gigi, we're going to chat with you a little bit later in the show, but after the break, B5 is here to talk career, new music, and much, much more. We'll see you back in 2 dandy minutes. Welcome back. All right, now the couch is kind of full right now because we got the members of B5 with us. It's Dustin, Kelly, Patrick, Carnell, and Brian. Fellas, welcome to Side Dish.
Welcome, guys. This is officially the biggest couch configuration we've ever had. This is the biggest side dish party we've ever had. Thanks for coming out, fellas. Thanks for coming out.
for having us.
Okay, now for those of you who don't know, you are all brothers. What has this journey been like in the industry, not only being a group, but also being family? Because there are unique ups and downs with both of those things.
Yeah, I mean, there's pros and cons to being with your brothers. You know, we get to be around each other. We know we have a different level of chemistry on stage and off the stage, so that's a con.
But we're also each other's support system, so that helps us stay together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know, the industry is a challenge in itself. You know what I mean? But we've grown into it since we were young, so we're kind of, you know, I would say seasoned a little bit.
Yeah, right.
And we also, because you know, we're always around each other, we keep each other in check, and you know, keep pushing each other to be, you know, better.
Yeah, the good thing about being brothers is, like, you know, kind of makes it harder to, like, break up.
Right?
Now, let me ask you this. With you guys being brothers, do each of you have a different role that you play in the group?
That's a good question. I handle a lot of the business stuff along with our manager and stuff like that. So I guess I could play that role. Patrick does a lot of producing and stuff like that. Brian just released creative side. Brian's good with social media and stuff like that. Kelly's good with social media. Carnell, he does a little bit of all of it as well too. So
good with style as well.
Yeah.
Carnell got his ear to the streets.
Now, has this been consistent throughout the group, or has the roles changed since you've all gotten older?
It's definitely changed because the industry has changed.
Yeah.
So before we were not independent, we were with the mainstream label, but now we're independent these days. So we had to kind of learn the ways of being independent, and also we came out before it shifted to social media heavy. So there's always pivots and changes in the industry.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you guys was able to navigate it and still be 5 of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes that road is bumpy, man. And you guys were signed to Bad Boy back in the day, and many of your former label mates had some bad things happen to them. Did you guys have any issues, being on the label, and why you think some of the other ones weren't so lucky?
I would say we can't speak to everybody else that was signed to the label. For us, I would say we were extremely busy.
Gotcha.
Back then, if we weren't doing a show, it was a tour or an interview, a 7-hour, signing at Walmart or somewhere. So we kind of stayed moving around.
Yeah, and as far as the
issues, we didn't see too much.
As far as the issues, like our stuff with Bad Boy was mostly like, like business, you know what I mean, aspect of it all. Yeah. I'll leave it at that.
I feel like that's always the issue. Like there's always, the labels could always do more because it seems like, any contract you sign is always going to be to their advantage, not yours.
Correct. It's never going to work out.
Right. Let me make sure these guys is well taken care of.
No matter what happens. The thing about that, you got a corporate, is majority of them,
Yeah.
So they're just, that's how the contracts, their mindset is.
It's a little give and take,
yeah.
So their job is to see how much they can get from you with minimal work, and then your job is to make sure that they're doing the maximum in the long run.
Yeah, exactly.
I think what I would have appreciated more specifically with that situation is like we were doing a lot, and I believe it wasn't until like our second album Diddy actually came to BET 106 in Park and actually saw firsthand.
Literally
that photo right there was the day. He saw firsthand. Like the reaction and our connection to our fans. So it's like if you would have been more involved in that sense, it could have projected us in a different direction.
Interesting.
You feel like he showed up a little later than he should have to acknowledge the hard work that you guys had already been putting in from the very beginning.
Right.
And just to be at that moment to see him experience your hard work with the crowd. If he had shown up sooner.
Yeah, he should have seen that when we were doing like the Scream tours, like when we first came out.
Well, I thought he seen it when he signed us. You know what I mean?
I feel like, but talking about it and going through the recording process versus like being out on the road on tour, seeing actual people's reactions, like that was something that they needed to see. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Too busy partying.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was gonna say it, but
at that time he was crazy. It's a crazy label. Like they were doing clothing.
Going on.
Yeah, he was
there was so much going on. And Bad Boy, I always say, Bad Boy was like the only label to me on the planet where like the head was also an artist himself.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just a very different dynamic.
He wasn't behind the scenes as much as he was in front, like an artist.
Yeah.
Now that you all are grown at this point, some of you are in relationships and some of you have children. How has the music changed you, and how has it changed from you when you originally came out in your earlier years as opposed to now?
I would say the maturity. It's just the maturity and the growth of the music, really, to me. I think that stands out the most. Because like we said, we were 12 years old. Got signed when Brian was like 9. So of course, we had the songs that had to kind of go along with our age demographic at the time. So now that we're independent, we've been putting out new music. It's a lot more mature. It's a lot more grown, and I would say a little more on the hip hop side with this latest one, which I actually like. So it's still got that R&B sound, but it's got a little hip hop flavor to it
that
too as well.
B5 DNA is still in there.
Yeah.
Still in
And
there.
from like a creative standpoint, we were singing about things we were told about, but now we're singing about things we've actually experienced.
What you got life, it changes, right?
Yeah,
that matters.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can only imagine 20 years ago how much you've grown since then.
Right.
If it was me, I'd be singing about heartbreak, and then 20 years later, I'm singing about lower backache. That's where I'm at. Now, your recent City Winery tour was really successful. Do you guys plan on hitting the road again? I can only imagine. And adding more cities, more venues. Plus, you've got this up close and personal tour. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we got a show coming up in New York City at the SOBs. It's May 17th, so everybody can check that out when they get a chance. Also, we're doing a show in where is it, Maryland, D.C.?
Yeah.
That's on July 18th, and that's going to be the kickoff tour.
That's the kickoff.
That's the kickoff of the up close and personal tour.
Yeah.
So how long's that run in? What are the cities you're hitting?
We're constantly adding new cities like every day, so we're trying to put the list together now.
Sure.
So once we have a nice bulk, we'll push that out to the fans on our socials, which is
very cool.
Official
B5 online.
Official B5 online.
And
Yeah.
the exciting part about this is that we now have an EP that we dropped on
There you
January 1st. So
Called Stay.
It's called Stay, and we also have new records that are coming out very soon. So this is an opportunity for the fans and our audience to experience those songs live.
Now, will they have I'm sorry.
Go for it.
Will they have a chance to get up close and personal with you at some of these meetings?
Oh yeah. If you've ever been to a B5 concert or anything, like it's
wild. It's the most wild R&B like show you'll see for sure. Like we still got a lot of high energy and stuff that we give to the fans, you know, and that's one of the greatest experiences, just being able to do the shows, put that energy out there to the fans, and then they give it to us back, you know. So
that's what really makes us like really be able to stay in the game as long as we did, is how we authentically connected with our audiences. And I don't know if it's because we're brothers, so we naturally bring a family vibe. But
it's crazy. They bring stuff that we've had that we've seen like since 2005. Like, oh, here's you signed this, you know, in 2006, and they just it's like, how do you even keep that stuff for that long?
To me, that's one of the most interesting things is like you'll see, I feel like the biggest artists in the world age with their fans, right? Exactly. So Taylor Swift is sort of a great example, right? She came out and she was kind of a teeny bopper herself, and she had a bunch of teeny bopper fans. Now she's a young woman singing to those fans, and you guys are doing the exact same thing.
I think that's what's important, like especially when we came out in 05, you just gotta have your fan base like that grows with you, you know, and it appreciates your music, and then just, you know, add a little salt and pepper on there and make it more relevant.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And
then they're
like
listening
they're showing
to it.
up with their kids
kids.
now.
Right.
Yeah,
So it's a whole new generation that's hearing B5 music, which is like very cool.
Yeah.
Very special.
Super cool.
How difficult is it to, like, you know, like sometimes when you haven't been working together for a while, right? Like, do you fall right back in line and still know the choreography, or is there a little, like, you know, ring rust that y'all gotta shake off?
It's a little rust for sure. We gotta do a little bit of rehearsals, but for the most part, we kind of fall back in, you know, to the rhythm of it because we've been doing it for so long, you know, and we've been around each other, and we've toured in the studio and traveled. Like, we've always been a unit forever.
And we take the showmanship aspect of the music very seriously. You know what I mean? Like, we're very big on showmanship and like stage production, like all that stuff. We're like, by the way, love this studio. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So we're big on stuff like that, and so that's very important to us when we do our shows. So, you know, all about the choreography, hitting the moments, and giving that crowd that love.
I love how they're like putting this up on the screen, like in real time.
A lot of it's honestly muscle memory because we've been doing it for so long.
That's true.
It's just like as soon as you hear the music, it just I'm right here.
You just gotta get on and ride that bike. You know what I mean?
I will add to it that the longevity I've noticed, like when we do separate and we come back with our own life experiences and our own personalities, that is something that we dump into the group, which makes B5 very unique and relevant.
It's almost like a musical gumbo. Each person brings something, and it comes together cohesively to make something delicious.
And who don't like gumbo? You know?
Yo, and speaking of tours, man, the Millennium Tour is still going, and we've heard that you guys were the ones who came up with the original concept for the Millennium Tour.
Where are you getting all of that?
Listen, side dish, the investigative team here is top notch.
We're not singular, man. It's a hive mind.
Leave no stone unturned.
Y'all are
so y'all came up with the name, and people are running with it.
Well,
How did that go down?
We didn't come up with the name, the Millennium Tour. It was actually called
concept.
Yeah, it's just a concept, and pretty much the at the time when they did it with G Square, it was the lineup basically, the roster. We kind of came up with that. But Patrick, Go ahead and tell them, you know?
You always do this, man. Well, since you asked, yeah, what happened was we were pulling up to
Because we love,
Cardinal
hold on,
Spot
I gotta say, we do love, like, there's no malice or nothing with
yeah, no, but it's telling, from our side. So me and him were pulling up to Cardinal Spot, and one of our other friends were there at, at his spot just hanging out. And we had just done a video and a song called Do That, that we wrote and produced, choreographed, and we were showing him the video, and he was like, yo, this is amazing, we love it. And I was like, yo, that's great, appreciate it, but I got a crazy idea, like we should get all of the favorites from the Scream tours, like in history, and we put them all together. I guarantee you we put that out, and people will come because it's been so long, and fans have been like, just, I could feel it,
It would be great for the
like
culture.
they've been wanting it, and somehow, it just kind of fell into place, and it got mixed up, and we just ended up not on it. I guess. We don't, so.
But it's all love, man. It's all love to everybody.
It
was probably just like, they didn't hit our manager or whatever. I'm gonna chuck it up at that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, things
We'll see what
happen.
the next one looks like,
Okay. Yeah. Well, see, that's the other thing too, though, is like you say, being independent, you can put your own version of that together still.
Exactly.
It might take a little work, but it's certainly still possible.
Winery tours and all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly. There you go.
And that's exactly why, we ended up doing that because, we're like, we'll just do our own tour then. You know what I mean?
But it is shout out to everybody on there because we've been touring with those guys since, the beginning. So
definitely all love to everybody.
Much love to everyone on those tours. Yeah.
Now, as we can see, you guys are all cutie pies. Bless your hearts. You're all so cute. Now, what's the craziest DM you've ever received from a fan or maybe another celebrity?
A DM.
Craziest DM are...
It's like
I want to kind of keep it
desensitized at this point.
Exactly.
Desensitized, it happens that much?
That's how many are coming in that you're desensitized.
What kind? Brian, that's a good word.
I'm gonna plead the fifth.
Yeah, I don't have
it's like,
yeah.
We talked about this earlier, but I was like, what's normal for artists is not normal for the normal person. But for me, we've been chased through the streets. We've been you see the camera light flashing out of your bushes in the middle of the night in your yard. Like
we've hiding in your hotel room when you first check in.
So it's
in lingerie.
Oh, wow.
So you've got to experience pandemonium at its worst and its best.
I read a little thing on Wikipedia. Is it true that at one point a whole bunch of fans rushed the stage and was like yanking shoes off and shirts off of you guys? Is that real?
That was absolutely real. And that was
that
that was in Minnesota, Minneapolis, and we were doing like a Disney show at the time. Yeah. And I think a prior artist before was there.
Jesse
McCartney, I believe. And they're like, we just had Jesse McCartney here. You guys will be fine. It was like the Disney staff as security, and there were a lot of them were females. Okay. So our managers and everybody's looking at them. We're like, yo, our fans are a little more higher energetic and like a little more wild, like
they love them.
Yeah. So long story short,
put the stage in the middle, so like the fans literally circled the whole stage, so there was nowhere.
Yeah. And then the stage collapsed, and then after the stage collapsed, one jumped on.
Once one girl broke through, like another one came through, and after that it was just like a flood.
Hysteria.
It was a
then
flood
it
of
reached world. It like reached nation news everywhere. Like it was crazy.
I just think like it's always coming from a place of so much love. I think they just don't understand the boundaries of that and what that looks like. So
when you get excited, you get hopped up. You know what I mean?
I don't blame them,
DMs
I think it's a good thing that happened because it just made us aware of what we prayed for that one time. But overall, I think overall it's just the experience in general. It's just like that doesn't happen anymore. Not at that scale because there was no social media at that time. It was different. So everything was decentralized.
It was definitely special.
For sure.
Well, you guys definitely grinded, put in the work. You guys are still here. You still have a certain level of white in your eyes. Because like sometimes, when people have been doing it for a while, you can just see all the dangerous things that happen to them throughout time, and not everybody comes out on the other side of that, man. So congratulations on 20 years of perseverance, selling out tours around the world. And what's next? We talked about the EP, we talked about the tours. What else you got coming up next, and how can people find out about all of it?
Well, we got a website that people could go to. It's called Official B5 Online. So y'all check that out.
Or our IG.
And our IGs is Official B5 Online.
But it's more music.
Yeah, we got a new album coming out, or
extended. So we had an EP that dropped, and now we're extending the EP, and so that's gonna be dropping within the next like
month or two.
We'll say 40 days.
Yeah. So more music, more shows, more tours,
more music videos,
more
B5.
more B5.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, across the board, real quick before we let y'all go, if everybody had to say that the B in B5 stood for something else other than what it normally stands for, what are you going with? Go.
Oh man, on the spot.
Quick now.
Don't do that. Oh.
Pick a word with a B.
Bosses.
Boss? Bosses, okay.
All right.
Dang it.
I say brilliant.
There we go.
I'll say brothers.
Everybody says brothers.
Brothers. Brothers, yeah.
He did his with an A.
That's my answer.
Oh, you said that?
What's your answer?
The B's hard to find a dope. Like,
Yeah, because I would go between bosses and brothers. I would kind of, yeah.
So I'm just going to put bravery in there.
Okay. There we go. I was going to say belief. You know, it takes a lot of that to keep going for 20 years.
Basquiat, because y'all are artists, painting a picture with y'all words and sounds.
I'm gonna go with branded.
Oh.
Because you're here to stay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, clearly you guys are better
Look,
than
you guys can
than
take all
we
of
are
that
at
for free.
this.
You can get to take that with you for free. Okay. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for coming by. We really appreciate it. Guys, be sure to check out B5 online and be sure to get tickets for their up close and personal tour when they come to a city near you and stream their new music on all platforms. Head to their IG page, B5 online, to get the latest info on what the guys are doing. Side Dish is going to be back in 2 minutes. Yes. Welcome back. You're still with us. Thank you so much. Now, Gigi, we love having you here, and audiences really seem to connect with your comedy, which is a nice blend of humor and real-life struggles. What is the biggest or weirdest struggle you've experienced in your life that you were able to turn into like a comedic bit?
I think that me growing up being a country kid, you know, it hasn't always been cool to be Southern and country.
Yeah.
So to be able to take this experience of growing up on those red clay dirt roads in the 6 stoplight town.
Okay, I'm from a 4 stoplight town, so I know the life a little.
So you get it.
Yeah.
So you get it. So to come from a place like that and to be able to turn it into a comedic career to where people get to see me on great platforms like this, it's nothing short of, I can't even explain how I couldn't imagine that this would have been me.
It's therapy, and they say truth in comedy. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
You know, a lot of people laugh to keep from crying. Now, you recently went viral for following a discussion about blackness and poverty on Deontay Kyle's Grits and Eggs podcast. Let's take a look at that.
I feel like black people have revolutionized poverty and made it look so cool that people think we like it.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie.
I think that black people have made look so cool that people think we like it, bro. We don't like it. We're just making the best of it.
Whoa. I mean, that's real talk. You know, like, yeah, they do celebrate the struggle, but no one wants to be in it. What's the poorest black person struggle that you turned into an actual flex?
Chitlins.
You eat chitlins?
Absolutely.
Oh, man.
What is the flex there? What is the chitlin flex?
Oh, you never had chitlins?
You've never had chitlins?
Okay, don't look at me like that,
Well,
guys.
here's the thing,
So let me tell you what chitlins are.
Okay, yeah.
So they're pig intestines.
I'm aware.
And, you know, the chitlins, of course, it's a great story of Black America, how you took something that was nasty, dirty, gross, nobody wanted it, and you turned it into a triumphant meal of resilience.
Sure.
It's pig guts.
Yeah. I'm aware of what they are. I'm full confession, I've never had chitlins.
So chitlins are one of those things to where if you grew up eating them, I think it's a nostalgic taste for you. I don't know people who can come in willy-nilly and just be like, yes. You can't just come in off the bench, right?
Yeah.
You had to have started in Pop Warner as a young...
Pop Warner chitlins?
Right, you had to start with Pop Warner chitlins and then work your way up to an Olympic form of chitlins with rice and hot sauce and maybe a piece of fat bat and light bread. Okay, that's neither here nor there. It's getting real country, but I think that one of the things that is our biggest flex is soul food. It was a struggle meal that has now been turned into a gourmet fine dine cuisine, and people forget the story that's tied to that beautiful, delicious, fattening, butter-riddled food.
Butter-riddled. You explained everything to them about the chitlins except the smell. I think that is what usually drives people away.
Chitlins is one of those things, like, if you, it's kind of like, for some people with deer meat, if you cleaned it, then you don't want any that day.
Oh, okay.
Because the smell is...
I'm used to deer meat for sure.
Yeah, if you like if you clean the meat, you don't want it that day. You've got the...
You got to give it a minute.
You're right. You got to let some of the horror off of you.
Right.
You got to let it settle, and then you'll have a hash sandwich 2 days later.
Yeah.
Because that's how chitlins is as well. Let the smell get out of your hair follicles in your nose. Right. And then you can have it with hot sauce.
Yeah, and then the venison's good.
Right.
Did you say light bread instead of white bread?
Of course. Because I'm country.
You going Sunbeam or you going Wonder Bread?
Now listen, I do enjoy a good Sunbeam. Okay. And I do enjoy a good Wonder Bread. I'll take either of those.
Wonder Bread's good.
Wonder Bread is, but I like a butter bread. I like a butter bread.
We used to have a lot of that, like, what is it, the Roman wheat bread? That's what we used to.
So I don't want any, don't give me fancy bread. Okay. Like if I'm eating catfish or something like that, I want regular.
I need the white bread that when you crunch it like that, it like stays stuck.
Yeah, I want my fingerprint to stay in it.
Exactly.
I want you to be able to solve a crime off of that bread because my fingerprint is still on.
When's the last time you had a white bread hamburger?
3 weeks ago.
Yo,
3 weeks ago.
Those hit different. It's been years since I had one.
Okay, so back on to business. You just kicked off a tour last month. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What can fans expect from the Kiki with Gigi tour?
So the Kiki with Gigi tour, I will be in Birmingham, Alabama for Mother's Day weekend at the Stardome, and you should definitely come and check me out. If you haven't gotten your mom anything yet, then she's gonna want this. You're going to go back to the top of the list, top of the prayer list, if you go ahead and get a ticket to come and see me. I'm also going to be in Augusta, Georgia on May 31st, right down in Augusta, Georgia.
Nice.
In a Cato's, Brown. Right, in a Cato's outfit. Something nice and cheap.
Oh, in a Cato's outfit, yeah.
In a Cato's outfit.
A lot of people don't know about Cato's.
See, that's what they're missing out.
What is a Cato's outfit?
Cato's is a little business casual store. If you go in there and get you a little outfit, that's where your grandma tells you to go get your little interview
But that's like
outfit.
small towns or like...
Small towns.
Small towns got the Cato's.
You are clean.
Yeah,
You are clean. It's I don't know what. If you went in Cato's and got you a little blazer business casual, oh, you were sharp. You were sharp.
You speak in a lot of people's language today.
And you can be sharp with me on August 31st in Augusta, Georgia.
August 31st in Augusta, Georgia. Get tickets, guys. Okay, so some of my cousins, the rock band Sugar Ray, they're best known for their 90s hits. They just performed, oh my gosh, they just performed a cover of Genuine's Pony. Let's say that the pony ride was rougher than that man who fell off his horse earlier in the show. Let's check this out. That's Mark McGrath up there.
What is this? Hey, now you're an all-star?
No, this is the band.
Sugar Ray?
No, that's Smash Mouth.
Okay.
This is I Just Wanna Fly, Sugar Ray.
Put your arms around me, baby.
That's right. That's
okay.
the one.
Somebody put their arms around him.
I'm just a
Whoa.
looking for a partner.
He's not gonna find him. He's not gonna find that partner.
Without even falling in love. Gotta be compatible.
Everybody is confused.
Take me to my limits.
That's all right, baby. Take your time. Take your time, baby.
I promise that you won't want to get off. Let's do it.
I think some of that white horse led him to that pony. Wow, Sugar Ray.
Yeah, that's not typical Sugar Ray music.
Well, of course, the comments did not disappoint. Somebody says it's giving Catalina wine mixer.
Oh, the Catalina wine mixer.
Yeah, man. While another person said, and the crowd goes mild.
They say the Coke is coking. Is this a cruise?
Oh, man. One commenter said, sounds about white, while another commenter hit in with a gif. Here it comes. Oh, no!
Giggity, giggity.
I didn't realize he did have the Quagmire head going.
Genuine has turned into Quagmire. Giggity, giggity.
Oh, man. Last but not least, one person said it's giving 2 a.m. karaoke, and singer Jay Valentine commented, Sugar Ray got to catch my fade.
Dang.
Oh, man. Sometimes all you got to do is the songs you do.
That's right. They got hits.
You got some songs?
They got some hits.
All right, what's your top 5 favorite Sugar Ray songs?
Okay, hold on. What's unfortunate is I might have 5.
Okay.
Sugar Ray, the first concert I ever went to was Rockfest 97, which was at the Texas Super Speedway in Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
We took a church van from Broken Bow, Oklahoma. And so Sugar Ray, this is back when they were hard, they had a song called Mean Machine, which was about Mike Tyson. So Mean Machine, then there was like, now I got to get generic. Like they had Fly, and I was like, definitely like that song. Then there was Someday, I think is a Sugar Ray song.
How's it go?
That's 3. Someday, when I'm about to walk away, you were always there for me. Something like that.
I like how
3.
you gave us the.
That's how. That's
I love
this
it.
thing. That's,
I like
that's
you
that
gave
part.
us the air guitar.
Yeah, hit the little air guitar.
You was feeling it,
Y'all can fill in the other 2 songs in the chat. But after the break, we got celeb birthdays and so much more, man. We'll see y'all in 2.
Oh, man, guys, I just wish you could see what we do in the commercials. Welcome back. If you're celebrating a birthday today, I hope you're as benevolent as the big benefactor, Mr. Beast. The biggest YouTuber and star and philanthropist turns 27. 27 today.
Wow. Happy birthday to him. And also happy birthday to hitmaker J Balvin, the Colombian singer, hits the big 4-0 today.
And NBA All-Star Shawn Marion is 47 years young today.
Hey, straight out the DMV, Miss Rico Nasty rounds out the birthday crew. She celebrates 28 today. Who we running this cake up for?
Yeah, I was hoping for more birthdays today.
Not a whole lot
Why we just
today.
get 3?
Not a whole lot today.
Yeah.
Mr. Beast, and then Miss Nasty.
Miss Nasty?
Yeah, Rico Nasty gets the cake for me because I knew Mr. Beast is gonna get the love, and Rico Nasty doesn't get enough appreciation.
Correct, she does not.
She is one of those she a rap rock star. She do her own thing, and there's no rapper like Rico Nasty out there. So enjoy your cake. If it makes you happy, Rico, we'll turn it upside down for you.
There you go. There you go.
Who are you giving the cake to?
I'm giving it to Rico Nasty.
Okay.
I'm giving it to Rico Nasty. I like Rico. Rico is what happens when you take a black girl and Hot Topic and rap and throw it all together. You get Rico Nasty.
Hot Topic star?
I love it. I love it.
Yo,
I love it.
That was such a perfect analogy of how to explain
love it. I love it.
Not even Spencer's. Hot Topic.
Yeah, Hot Topic specific.
Hot
Are they even still out there?
They are.
Man,
and they're still selling studded belts.
That's right. They still got cuffs and big buckles.
And they got that weird section in the back still.
It's in the front now.
Oh, what? Because everything's normalized now. We're going to show you these toys up front.
Yeah. I guess I guess I got to give Mr. Beast then. I saw this thing the other day that I liked, and it was he is the biggest YouTuber on the planet, but evidently he uploaded something like over 100 YouTube videos before any one of them went viral.
Wow.
And I was just like, okay, perseverance. And
perseverance. Slow and steady wins the race.
Slow and steady.
And then the branding that he does outside of the YouTube stuff, you go to a 7-Eleven, any store, they got the Beastables, the Feastables, and he's just figured out a way to transcend just that whole social media space.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And 27, only 27.
And then the charitable stuff he does too.
Dude, he went viral for building wells, like water wells in Africa or something like that.
He's everywhere.
Yeah, it's nuts.
The second you want to ball your fist up to hate on this man, you have to unball them because it's
you can't be mad at someone who has this type of philanthropic lifestyle with all the money that he makes, and he's so willing to just give it away. He's at Zaxby's.
Yep.
With a combo meal.
Oh, he does. Oh,
that's a big
really?
deal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's getting to it. Now, when you think back historically, fun parties or situations you found yourself in, what has been your funnest party of all time?
Funnest party that I've been to of all time. They're always house parties.
Mm-hmm.
House parties are always the best parties. With me being from a hole-in-the-wall town, a good party for me, bonfire.
Oh, yeah.
Fire pit. And frying fish.
Yeah.
Out of a bucket over here.
Yep.
And the fish doesn't even come with a plate. They just give it to you on bread. Those are the best parties.
People understand small town parties is we used to go party in the woods at a place called Skidder Tires. And it's just because that's where the tires were laid off of the skidder that was carving its way through the woods, and we'd light them on fire, and that was our fire pit.
So you understand a good time.
Yeah, that's right. Everclear in the woods?
Right.
What are we talking about?
Right, PJ Punch.
Yeah.
You got PJ Punch. The town I'm from, we would party at the VFW.
Let's go.
And we called it the Hut. Party at the Hut.
You had me at bread as a plate.
Yeah, they don't give you a plate. Paper plates is too much. You just take. They give you a loaf of bread, and everybody gets bread out of it, and that's the plate. And they'll put the hot fish on top of it, and then you walk to the homemade picnic table, and there's a 6-pack with no beer in it. It's got condiments.
Oh yes, yeah.
In the 6-pack container, it's got hot sauce, tartar sauce, molasses,
salt
mustard,
and pepper a lot of times.
Salt and pepper, because how you dress your fish tells people a lot lot about you.
We gotta have a party exchange.
Of course.
Yeah.
Come on down.
Yeah, I want to go to one of your shindigs. I'll bring you to something I go to, and we'll wild out.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to be back in 2 minutes with everybody's favorite game, Whose Cousin Is It? See you in 2. Welcome back, you guys. Okay, quick question. How comfortable are you with racial profiling?
I'm in. That's how I made it this far.
All right. Okay, sounds
I'm
like
in.
we're good to go. It's time to play everybody's favorite game. Whose cousin is it? Okay, here we go. Here's the clues, guys. The devil wears Prada, but apparently likes Walmart too, because the ruler of hell allegedly told a woman to shoplift at a Tampa, that's Florida, store.
Now, not the devil in a Walmart dress. So the top flight Walmart security guard stopped the 73-year-old sticky-fingered woman in her tracks for trying to run off with $121.85 worth of merch, including shampoo, socks, men's shorts, and some other items.
The geriatric grifter denied swiping the items at first, but when she realized the jig was up, she told the cops that the devil told her to buy them for someone else. But since Satan didn't provide the funds, she decided to grab and dash.
Now, according to the police, the devil has not been charged in connection with the theft, but the Walmart product pirate was booked and charged with a misdemeanor. She was also ordered to stay away from Walmart, but she's still free to kick it with a hellish homie.
Okay. Whose cousin do we think this is? My whole thing is if it contains the F word, Florida, I immediately think it's my people.
And you wouldn't be wrong.
Thank you.
For going with that.
Yeah.
Now, what makes me think that it may not be your people is because we brought the devil into it. We said that the devil did it. And one thing that I know about our community is the devil be busy. He be busy. He be everywhere. And apparently he has a residency in Florida. So
like he likes the heat.
Right. So you know what? I don't want to say this, but I think this is us.
You think it's us?
I think this might be us.
Yeah, I completely rule out other cousins.
I think this might be it.
Because like most of the Latino demographic, they do not play about the devil.
They do not.
They don't.
No,
They don't bring him
El
up just
Diablo
anywhere.
not speak
They'll
of
get
him.
that egg out and run it across the body. And
egg?
Yeah, they'll get that egg out and get that evil eye to make sure you get that energy off of you. No.
Okay, yes, I'm gonna have to lean into it too. I feel like this might be our cousin because I know it's Florida and usually that's y'all crew, but stealing from
Tampa.
Walmart.
It's Tampa.
Yeah.
It could go either way.
A lot of people in Tampa.
It could go either way.
My sister live in Tampa. She Puerto Rican though.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
73, 100 and something. Satan told me to do it. Stole some men's shorts.
Oh yeah, for a dude.
She worried about her dude.
Unless she got that SpongeBob lower body in
She
those
worried
shorts
about
for
her dude.
Right.
And I'm gonna go with us.
I still think
I'm gonna
it's
go with
us.
us.
Okay, by default, I'm going to say my people just because Florida, and you never know.
You never know.
And this could be other, but
This could be another.
Because
Right.
Tampa is where people run out of gas at and they don't make
On
it
the
over
way to
here.
Miami.
No offense to anybody who lives in Tampa. I was just saying, like the
Yeah.
destination was.
Okay.
All right,
All right.
1, 2, 3.
move that van. Angela Velasquez to Borda. Other. How did we miss it, guys? How did we miss it?
It was Florida.
It was the
It
devil
was
speak.
Florida. The whole
Florida.
time.
I'm
Mother
Florida.
Florida.
You know her.
Wow.
It was the devil speak that threw me off of them.
It threw me off too. It threw me off.
Strong and wrong we were. Shout out
Well,
to
here's the
everybody in
thing: is
chat.
like she was probably being like sincere, you know, like Santeria might have set on or something like that. You never know. You never know.
Well, man, please don't steal from Walmart. They have all the cameras.
Oh.
Yeah.
And security people who are willing to lay their life down to stop you from stealing them items, yo.
Gigi, you're so much fun. Where can people find you online? Where can they follow you? What are the things you got going on that they can find online?
Well, you guys can find me at Gigi, GIGI_LEFLAIR, LeFlair. I am Gucci Mane's cousin on his daddy's side. Don't ask him about it. We haven't got it set in stone yet. You can find me at GigiLeFlair.com for tickets, merchandise, and other things like that. And guys, I really, really appreciate that you guys had me today.
We
Thank
appreciate
you.
your energy and your glow, yo. Be sure you follow her so you can pull up on her tour dates when she comes to a city near you. Birmingham, Stardome, that's not too far from Atlanta. Get some gas in the car. Pull up, please, and thank you.
I'm gonna have to go buy a loaf of light bread just because.
Come on, we'll have us a fish sandwich together.
Let's go.
Bread plate. Like and subscribe, share, hit record all. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to Scrolling with Jen and V. We are your hosts, Jen and V.
What's
Jen,
going on,
you
everybody?
ready?
I'm ready, boo.
You ready? We stay on ready.
We stay ready with scrolling.
Hey,
Stay ready with scrolling, V.
Hey. Well, we got a popping hype show tonight, right, Jen?
That's right.
All right, so we got our bevies ready. Let's go on and cheers it up.
And you know
we
what
got this
calling
purple
this?
rain.
Purple rain.
Purple
That's
rain,
it. That's right
baby.
there.
And what can they find
it's
this recipe, Jen?
on our social, okay? Because we make the bevy tonight. We show you what it is. It is nothing but 3 ingredients.
That's it.
Y'all make it at home while y'all scrolling with us, right?
And you know, we keep it real simple. And y'all make sure y'all tag us and y'all DM us and say, hey, Jen and V, I made that purple rain, baby.
Make that purple rain.
And
Make
we
that
gonna